Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Monday only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Those of you watching Johnny G on the webcam, welcome to the February 7th, 2022 All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show, where I spin my original vinyl 45s from 8 to 11 p.m. here on Oldies and More Radio and also on YouTube. We opened up tonight with a group out of Peoria, Illinois. They have a few releases on different labels, but Destination, Balance, Candy Cane, Dunwich, Rampage, and this label, which is known as the Everest label. This is their second release on Everest. They have three. This one from September 1964, the Warner Brothers. That's pretty cool, Warner Brothers Records. The Warner Brothers is the name of the group. It's on the Everest record label. It's called Coming Home. That is the name of the tune. Hopefully the Cincinnati Bengals will be coming home Super Bowl champs next week. We'll see what happens with that, but let's start her off here with the vocal portion. With this group from New Jersey, they had this lone release on the Mercury record label. It's from June of 1965. They're called the Skunks. The Skunks on the Mercury label. It's called Youth Quake.
Oh yeah, we had a youth quake hit our town last night. Oh, what a youth quake! It's really out of sight. Without a warning, it shook up the whole town. We did the youth quake. Oh yeah, we did the youth quake. Now that the youth quake is moving all around, me and my baby just can't put it down. We dance a new way, and you should hear the things we say. We do the youth quake. Oh yeah, we do the youth quake. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now that the youth quakes hit us, gave our love a new start, and I know we'll never ever, never have to part. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We had a youth quake hit our town last night. Oh, what a youth quake! It's really out of sight. Without a warning, it shook up the whole town. We did the youth quake. Oh yeah, we did the youth quake. Oh yeah, we did the youth quake. Oh yeah, ooh, we did the youth quake. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a youth quake in Cincinnati if those Bengals win. Those are the Skunks, though. June 1965 on the Mercury record banner. Youth Quake is the name of the tune. Up next, a group from Benton Harbor, Michigan. Their first release came out on the Freeport record label back in 1965. Here is a release on Smash Records. This one produced by Jerry Ross, arranged by Joe Renzetti. This charted number 21 on WLOF in Orlando, Florida. We go back to October 1966. October 66 for the Five Empress. The Five Empress on the Smash label. It's called Gone From My Mind.
She's gone from my mind. I never thought I could be happy here, but And now I'm gonna be so happy, 'cause she's gone from my mind. It took quite a time, and just about a million heartaches, whoa. But never mind about those heartaches, 'cause she's gone from my mind. Hey, I got a lot of loving left to do. Say, I got a lot of loving just for you. So don't you be unkind. A little bit of love won't hurt you, yeah. And baby, I can never hurt you, 'cause she's gone from my mind. Hey, I got a lot of loving left to do. Say, I got a lot of loving just for you. So don't you be unkind. A little bit of love won't hurt you, yeah. And baby, I can never hurt you, 'cause she's gone from my mind. She's gone from my mind. Yeah, she's gone from my mind. Yeah, she's gone. She's gone from my mind. I never thought I could be happy here, but now I'm gonna be so happy, 'cause she's gone from my mind. She's gone from my mind. I never thought I could be happy here, but now I'm gonna be so happy.
A group called the Five Empress. Five Empress from October 1966. That's on the smash record label. Gone From My Mind is the name of the tune as we continue here on the All 60s edition. And I picked this one in my travels when I first started collecting. I actually found both his 45s. This singer and this group from Newark, New Jersey, they recorded two on the Skymac label. Skymac Records was located at 489 Clinton Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. This is their second release, co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Benny Turner. This is Benny Turner and the Armorettes, 1964 release on the Skymac label. It's called Morning Teardrops.
Oh yeah, morning teardrops, morning, morning teardrops, morning teardrops are falling from my eyes, and morning teardrops are asking me why. Why did you make me cry? Why did you make me cry? You're saying goodbye. Oh no, don't say goodbye. Oh no, don't make me cry. Morning teardrops, they make me feel bad, thinking about the trouble I had. Morning teardrops falling from my eyes. You're saying goodbye. Oh no, tears. No, no, no. Well, people are talking all over town, telling me you're gonna put me down. So why should I hang around? Morning teardrops are falling from my eyes. Oh yeah, never stopping. Don't know the reason why. Why did you make me cry? Why did you make me cry?
And that group out of Newark, New Jersey, Benny Turner and the Armorettes, 1964 release on the Skymac record label. Morning Teardrops is the name of the tune. This morning it was snowing here in Westchester County, New York. It was kind of unusual. Then it warmed up and then it started to rain here. Really weird weather lately that we are having as we continue here on the All 60s edition for this next singer. As we go to Detroit, Michigan for this, he was a member of a group called the Peppermints in 1959, recorded for the HOB label, which stands for House of Beauty, by the way. And he also has a release on the Moz label in 1965. And you may know his a number 17 Billboard hit with a song called I Want You to Have Everything. That one there on the D-Town record label. This is his fifth release, fifth of 7 on D-Town Records, Mike Hank's D-Town record label. His name is Lee Rogers. Lee Rogers, this charted number 15 on WJMO out of Cleveland, Ohio. We go back to November of 1965. Give a listen to Lee Rogers on D-Town Records. It's called My One and Only.
Hey, now. Had a love quite as sweet as you to make me wanna be true. You're my one and only, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. You're my one and only, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you, baby. I can't deny the fact that I've ever done somebody wrong. If you decide to do the same to me, then I must tag along and try my best to be strong. You're my one and only, yeah. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. My one and only, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. Baby, my very first attraction, my everlasting satisfaction. Ooh, baby, you've got such deep affection, a thrill I've never known. The love I have in my heart for you keeps on going strong, and I've got to let it be known. You're my one and only, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. You're my baby, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you. My one and only love, baby. I love you.
November 65 release there for Lee Rogers. Lee Rogers on Mike Hank's D-Town record label. That's one of the thousands of record labels that I collect. That's his fifth of 7 on D-Town Records, my one and only. Labels reversed on that 45. Flip side is actually a pretty cool Christmas record. But when I was playing it, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, of course, he has other releases on other labels, Wheelsville, Premium Stuff, another one, Diamond Jim, other labels that he recorded on. But let's stay in Detroit, Michigan for this next group. And they're called the Holidays. There are lots of groups that go by the name of Holidays, but this one group is out of Detroit, have releases on the Golden World and Revelot record labels. And their first release was their biggest hit. It was a song called I'll Love You Forever. But this side here features, is that right? It's no, it's not. Anyway, this one here from April 1966. Let's give a listen to The Holidays. The Holidays on the Golden World record label. It's called I'll Love You Forever, which is their biggest hit. Mess that up.
I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. Now listen to me, baby. I'm not destined for the Hall of Fame, and bright lights don't shine on my name. But more important than all of these things is the joy and happiness that your love brings. That's why I'll love you forever. Baby, I'll love you forever and ever, forever and ever, baby. My little baby, 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 baby. I love you till the sea runs dry. I love you till the stars fall from the sky. Sweet thing you do and say make our love strong in so many ways. The greatest gift that a man can receive can be no greater than the love you give to me. That's why I love you forever.
Those are the Holidays there from April 1966. It's on the Golden World record label, I'll Love You Forever. Now I understand what, because Mark mentions it in the chat room there. He says that this release, this is what Charlene has on the research, so now I understand it more. This release featured Edwin Starr on lead with J.J. Barnes and Steve Mancha. So there's a bunch of people as members of the Holidays, so that would make sense. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we go to Chicago now, from Detroit to Chicago for this girl trio. They are Pam, Sheila, and Wanda Hutchinson. Initially, they formed a gospel group called the Hutchinson Sunbeams. Then in 1962, they recorded a Christmas 45, which I do have, a very rare record on the local label as the Hutch Stereos. Then in 64, the group became the Sunbeams with a release on the Tolly label. Then in 1967, they changed their name one more time to the Emotions, and here's one they did on the Brainstorm record label. This one from December of 1967, The Emotions on Brainstorm. It's called You'd Better Get Pushed to It.
Yeah.
December 1967 release there for The Emotions. That's on the Brainstorm record label. You Better Get Pushed to It is the name of the tune. They have other releases, of course, like Twin Stacks, Volt, and Columbia. And that's the same group that did the tune When Will I See You Again? That was a 45 that I purchased back in the 1970s. Now, in my musical tastes, and a lot of people have different tastes. Okay, I'm a collector. I collect a lot of different tastes. My aunt, she was not a collector. She just loved the music. She loved certain kinds of music, mainly rhythm and blues vocal groups, but she also liked Richie Valens and the Skyliners and Ricky Nelson and, believe it or not, Johnny Cash. She had a Johnny Cash 45 from 1963 called Understand Your Man. And I would listen to that because that's fried in my brain because of my upbringing. So everybody has different musical tastes. I normally feature records that I like. If I have it in my collection and I play it, I like it. I get requests for this show that I refuse to play, okay? But I like the slow, early doo-wops for my 50s show. I'm going to admit I am not a big psych fan. I have tons of it in my collection. I'm not a big garage fan. I have tons of it in my collection. I like bubblegum music. My first 45 that I purchased was the Archies, Sugar Sugar. That was the first 45 I purchased on my own in Sears Roebuck in White Plains, New York, with Bobby Sherman, by the way. Okay, but you during your listening career, or I should say your life, your listening life, your tastes come and go. I used to like up-tempos. No, now I like ballads. Now I like up-tempo. So I go back and forth. So people's tastes can change. And I'm not trying to say that I try to appeal to everyone. Music is music. If it makes you feel good, I think that's the good thing about it. But I try to appeal. Now, I will tell you, because Fred is like, well, I know I like to play different. I would like to interject other styles of music, but sometimes it just doesn't go with the format. And sometimes, to me, the person in charge of the show, it's a turnoff. Now, for instance, I would not play this record next. Okay, it's a pretty rare garage record. Now, I know guys out there like garage. Dave the Rave likes garage. Warren likes garage. But I won't play this after an Emotions record. Okay, these are the Shoremen, and it's called She's Bad. It's on the Winwood label. It just doesn't go. We'll listen to it a little bit.
She said she'd be true to me. Now she's got me crying endlessly, 'cause she's bad, bad, bad. The little lover that I thought I had's left me. And I feel so sad, she's bad. Yeah, I feel so sad. Everybody knows that it's no lie. She'll take your love and then she'll make you cry, 'cause she's bad, bad, bad. The little lover that I thought I had's left me. And I feel so sad, she's bad. Yeah, I feel so sad. One of these days she's gonna miss me. By then I'll be seeing things differently. I'll spread the word that she's untrue and let her feel what it's like to be blue, 'cause she's bad, bad, bad. The little lover that I thought I had left me. And I feel so sad, she's bad. Yeah, I feel so sad. One of these days she's gonna miss me. By then I'll be seeing things differently. I'll spread the word that she's untrue and let her feel what it's like to be blue, 'cause she's bad, bad, bad.
feel so sad she's back. Yeah, I feel so sad she's back. Yeah, I feel so sad.
Now, for some garage collectors, they may think that's a kick-butt record. To me, it's only an average record, and it just doesn't go with what I've been playing. And just to play it in the middle of a whole bunch of other records that I get enjoyment featuring for myself, and I share my music with you, the listeners. That's the reason why I don't mind playing. You know, I try to fit certain things, and I like bubblegum music, don't get me wrong, I do. And if I could fit it in, I will fit it in. I do that. But basically, I love this music, and this is me, and hopefully you are tuning in because you like what I play. Okay, I mean, it's not the same boring stuff that you listen to on the radio networks. It's not the same thing. Plus, it's all on originals, so it's all good at the end of the day. But that just didn't go. By the way, that record is the Sherwoods. The Sherwoods on the Wynn record label. It's called She's Bad, and that has Dave the Rave's name on it, by the way. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure show for this next singer. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. He was actually the lead singer of the Five Pennies that I feature on my 1950s show, the Five Pennies that recorded for the Savoy record label back in December of 1955. They do a great ballads called Mr. Moon. But later on, in the mid-1960s, he was known as King of the Beach Music. And he has releases on a bunch of different labels. This one's on the Elf label. This is his third release on Elf, and this charted number 9 on WTGR in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We go back to August 1967. Give a listen to Clifford Curry. Clifford Curry on the Elf label. It's called East, West, North, or South.
North or south, that's where I'm gonna be. Anywhere the wind blows. Day and night, dark or light, all mean the same to
That's Mr. Clifford Curry. Clifford Curry there from August 1967. It's on the Elf record label. East, West, North, or South is where I'm going to be. Johnny G's right here on Oldies and More Radio every Monday night from 8 to 11 p.m. Sometimes we do overtime. I always do overtime on Saturday nights. Get so many cool requests from you, the listeners. Thank you all. And also, my father thanks you for all the cool birthday wishes. He doesn't know any of you, but I said, Dad, they're listeners to the show and my friends, and they're like, you know, they're wishing you a happy 91st birthday, and he was really thrilled. I'm telling you, he's been in a real happy mode lately. Thank you all for that. Let's continue here. I'm sure many of you don't even know this next record, okay, and they are a girl group. I have no information on this. It's on the A&W record label. I see, though, it's produced by Charles Wright, and I wonder if that's the same Charles Wright of the 103rd Street Watts Band. I don't know, but I thought they were out of California. But this record, I think, is out of 1650 Broadway, New York City. It's possible, but there was a Charles Wright that recorded for Ember, I think. I don't know if they were the same. I think they might have been different. But anyway, it's from January 63. This group is called the Gibraltars, and I wonder if this is this is the group that backed up Jimmy Barnes. That's a possibility. Jimmy Barnes and the Gibraltars, possibly. But this is on A&W Records. It's called I Won't Be Your Fool Anymore.
No, I won't be a fool anymore. No, I won't be a fool anymore. Just a mere conversation put that little admiration in my mind. In my mind. Until yesterday, I thought you were so sweet and kind. Oh yeah, sweet and kind. Let me tell you that I won't. No, I won't. And I don't. And I don't. Love you no more. Because you're so untrue, and you think I'm gonna be your fool. No, no, I won't be a fool anymore. No. And it's all over town that you've been spreading around. I'm not your girl. Not your girl. So you can take your ring and you can have your little pearl. Oh yeah. Little pearl. Let me tell you that I won't. No, I won't. And I don't. And I don't. Love you no more. Because you're so untrue and you think I'm gonna be your fool. Yes, I thought that you were the best, but you turned out just like the rest. You're not the guy I'm dreaming of. I guess I better read the book of love. The mere conversation put that little untrue statement in my mind. In my mind. So you had me thinking that you love me till the end of time. Oh yeah. End of time. Tell you that I won't. No, I won't. And I don't. And I don't. Love you no more. Because you're so untrue. And you think I'm gonna be your fool. No, no, I'm so untrue. And you think I'm gonna be your fool. No, no, I won't be a fool anymore. No, I won't be a fool anymore.
That's on the A&W record label there, January 63. The Gibraltars. The Gibraltars with I Won't Be Your Fool Anymore is the name of the tune. We go back out to Detroit, Michigan for the Great Spinners. This is their second release on the Motown record label. This charted number 35 on Billboard, number 8 on the Billboard R&B chart, and a big number 1 record on WKNC KFR in Battle Creek, Michigan. The female vocals in the background are none other than the Andantes. They are doing backup work here. We go back to June 1965. Give a listen to The Spinners. The Spinners on the Motown record label, their second release. It's called I'll Always Love You.
Though you're breaking my heart, taking my sunshine away, knowing that I'm to blame, darling, there's nothing that I can say. Darling, I've got to try, 'cause in my heart I know that I'll always love you. I'll always love you, baby. Darling, you're all my love, no matter where you go. I'll always love you, baby. I'll always love you, baby. Sometimes a man has too much pride to see, but losing your love, my darling, has opened my eyes for me. Darling, your going hurts me more and more each day. I'll always love you. I'll always love you, baby. Darling, it's all my love, no matter where you go. I'll always love you, baby. I'll always love you, baby. Oh, you're leaving me behind. Girl, you'll never be out of my mind. I'll always love you. I'll always love you, baby. Darling, you're all my love, no matter where you go. I'll always love you, baby. I'll always love you. I'll always love you. The sun may burn out. Gold my plans may never turn out. Girl, you know that I will be loving you till I die. I'll always love you. I'll always love you, baby. I'll always love you.
The sound of Motown here on the Vinyl Treasure Show was sending out to Miami Santi in the Oldies and More radio chat room there. Motown is good. Warren wants Johnny G to do a whole Motown special. I probably would take out a lot of my Motown rarities to do that. That is for sure, because and everybody likes the Motown sound. There's so many great artists on all their plethora of record labels there. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, let's go back to Chicago now to the Lucky Lucky Label Inc. is the name of the label. This is the first release on the label. I have something else. I either have another one or two other records on this label. Can't really date this. I think it's like 1964 or 65, but it's a cool tune. They're called the Embracers. The Embracers on the Lucky Label Inc. That's the label. It's called Stop and Let Yourself Go.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop and let yourself go. Stop and let yourself go. I said I would love you till the end of time. You said there'd never be another love like yours and mine. But I believe you talk a lot of time. Let me see you let yourself go. Stop and let yourself go. Stop and let yourself go. I can tell by your actions
That group called the Embracers. That can't be a common record. I don't think it is. The Embracers there on the Lucky Label Inc. Stop and Let Yourself Go. Johnny G lets himself go on Saturday nights and also here on Monday nights on Oldies and More Radio. Did you hear my rant on Saturday about my cable company? As I went back and looked at that, I really got all upset about that. Raised my blood pressure. But we are streaming wonderfully now with the fiber optics network of Verizon Fios. Now we're going to return the equipment, and I'm going to really give them a piece of my mind as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. For this next gal, she's from Jacksonville, Florida, and her first releases came out on Burt Burns' Shout record label. Actually, this is her first of two, produced by Jimmy Bishop. This one from June 1968. I think this is the B-side, though, if I'm not mistaken. But her name is Jackie Moore. Jackie Moore on the Shout record label from June 68. It's called Here I Am. That's the sound of Jackie Moore on the Shout record label, June 1968, song entitled Here I Am. She had, in 1970, she had a number 30 Billboard hit, Precious Precious. That was on Atlantic. I bought that when it was released back in 1970. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. There's not many radio stations that play records at all. Not a lot of disc jockeys, both on the internet and other places that don't play records at all. But you get get to see the 45s. Those of you are listening on Oldies and More Radio, you can't do that. But some are listening on Oldies and More and watching the YouTube stream. So that is pretty cool to do also. But let's continue here as we go back to Chicago for this, actually a blues guitarist. Although he's originally from Mississippi, he moved up to Chicago in 1946, and it was Earl Hooker who taught him guitar. But in the mid-1960s, he had some solo releases. This is his first on the on the Chicago-based USA record label, and it's a song he co-wrote with fellow USA recording artist Al Perkins, who also produced this record. This is from August of 1964. Give a listen to Andrew Brown. Andrew Brown on the USA record label. It's called Something Can Go Wrong.
Something can go wrong. Something can go wrong. If you leave me for another, and thinking love is so strong, something can go wrong. Something can go wrong. I know you've been hurt by someone new. Give me your love, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Girl, if something do go wrong, girl, if something do go wrong, I know you need my love, just to make you be strong. Something can go wrong, something can go wrong. Don't make me cry, baby. Something can go wrong. I say, baby, something can go wrong. And every time I think something can go wrong, something can go wrong. Leave it up to me, baby. I'll bring my loving on. Something can go wrong. Something can go wrong. I just want you to know, baby, something can go wrong. I say, baby, I got tears in my eyes. Please, baby, I just want you to know something can go wrong. Something can go wrong.
We could almost call that song Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will. Is that Murphy's Law? But anyway, it's a cool tune there. Andrew Brown, August 1964 release. It's on the USA record label. USA, a cool label out of Chicago, Illinois. You know, the Buckingham's kind of a drag, a big hit on that label. It's called Something Can Go Wrong. Hopefully nothing will go wrong with my upload speed, because it's up there around 500 now. And I was uploading the Saturday night show to my website, vinyltreasures.net. It took seconds to do it. And anyway, it's so much better. I have to tell you, get away from Optimum Cable. They are horrible. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show for this next gal, she is originally from Mississippi. She was born Mamie Davis, but then she relocated to Chicago. She signed with Dick Simon's St. Lawrence record label, working with Monk Higgin as her arranger and producer. She had 3 releases on the St. Lawrence record label, which then brings us to her 4th release, which came out on the Thomas record label, where she goes by Mamie P. Galore. And this one from September 1966. Other releases, she was just Mamie Galore. On this one, she's Mamie P. Galore on the Thomas label. It's called You Got the Power.
You got the power. twistmen around my thumb, they'd be there on time whenever I say come, 'cause you've got the power, baby. You've got the power, baby. You've got the power. You can change me all around. Yeah, change me all around. Now I saw the women treat you just like a king. And I thought that if I got you, baby, Lord, it would be a different thing. You got it, baby. And now I've got you, and you turn the tables on me. And I'll do anything for you, baby. And I just don't care who sees, 'cause you got the power, baby. You got the power, baby. You got the power. Yeah, change me all around. You can change me all around. You got it, baby. Now I love you, and I just can't help myself. You got a spell on me, and I don't want no one else. You got the power. You got the strongest will, baby. You got the and you make me love you. You got the love that's real, baby. You got you make me crazy, baby.
That's Miss Mamie Galore, September 1966. That's on the Thomas record label. You Got the Power is the name of the tune. She has other releases, I think, on Imperial Records. She does a couple duets with Big D. Irwin. I have those 45s in my collection. Johnny G has the power on Monday night from 8 to 11 right here on Oldies and More Radio as we continue here. And this next singer, he's from Selma, Alabama, and he was spotted by Berry Gordy Jr. back in 1958 and recorded one of the first Joe Bett songs called I Need You on the Home of the Blues record label. I think the first Joe Bett record might have been, though, Insane by Wade Jones. I think that might have been the true first record, but this is one of the early sides also on Joe Bett, I Need You. But he would later switch to the Anna label and also had releases on Step Records. I have that 45 also. But he eventually married Mary Wells and recorded on a bunch of different labels. But here he is on Lloyd Price's Double L label. This is Lloyd Price's label, Double L Records. This one written and produced by Robert Bateman. We go back to July 1963 for Herman Griffin. Herman Griffin on Double L Records. It's called Mr. Heartbreak.
Mr. Heartbreak is his name.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Heartbreak
yeah.
is his name. Mr. Heartbreak is his name.
Find 'em, fool 'em, and forget them. That's my game. I travel north, south, east, and west. I haven't found a girl that I like best. So if you're sweet 16 and you've never been kissed, travel my way at your own risk, 'cause I'm every girl's heartache. Every girl's heartache. My name is Mr. Heartbreak. That's my name. Oh yeah. Find 'em, fool 'em, and forget them. That's my game. I pick 'em short, fat, skinny, and tall. I love 'em first, then I leave 'em all. So no matter how you try to resist,
July 1963 release there for Herman Griffin. Herman Griffin on Lloyd Price's Double L record label, Mr. Heartbreak, the name of the tune. And Mark Speck mentions, I have that 45 on the Columbia label, Mr. Heartbreak. I didn't know it was the same song as done by Freddie Scott, but definitely a cool tune. Hope you're digging on the 1960s here on Oldies and More Radio. Also, those of you digging the stream on YouTube, tell your friends about the YouTube stream. Need more subscribers, more subscriptions here. Tell your friends. It's a unique way to DJ, that is for sure, to play the original vinyl. No stinking MP3s. I know, it's not that easy really to collect records, and I've been doing it since I was a teenager, and I graduated high school in 1976. So I was buying records back then. Like I said, Sugar was what, 1969? The summer of 69 maybe, when that record came out. But from that point on, I was buying 45s. Of course, my aunt was very instrumental with shaping my musical taste, but I'm a big group harmony collector, got lots and lots of rare 45s, as I can wheel and deal with those big time collectors. It's expensive. It is not, and believe me, way back in the past, when I started collecting, you could have invested in records. You cannot invest in 45s now unless you buy a warehouse for a penny a piece. Then possibly you can get some good stuff, or you buy box slots. You can luck out, but you're not going to get it from a dealer. You may get a bargain, because I think records have gone down in price considerably, especially those old 50s doo-wop things, the Orioles and whatnot. There's, it's really supply and demand. Demand is the whole thing. Believe me, if I start selling out my records, I'll probably start at the end with my 80s and 70s and do that and move up. That's probably how I'll do it. But I got triples and doubles and quadruples that I need to get rid of. That is for sure. Let's continue here. We are doing the All 60s show every Monday from 8 to 11 right here on Oldies and More Radio, and also on YouTube. This gal, she was born Jacqueline Mary Baldane, and she originally is from, is it Eudora, Arkansas, Daryl? Eudora, Arkansas. But she grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, and then in 1954 she moved out to San Francisco, California, where in 1960 she married Big J McNeely, saxophonist Big J McNeely. Had some cool instrumentals that I have featured on my 50s show to open up the show. But they performed together in 1965 when she recorded her first single on the Phalectron label in 1966. I don't have that record. That is a big a soul record that people are looking for. But then she signed with Modern Records. This is her second of 3 on Modern. I have her Modern releases, but her name is Jackie Day. This is from December 66. Jackie Day on Modern Records. It's called Oh, Wet Heartaches.
Another night and I'm alone. I think of all the people who have someone. The telephone that never rings. Oh, what heartache. Oh, what heartache. Oh, what a heartache love can bring. A silent room, my hope, my desires are only ashes from a once burning fire. Only teardrops here remain. Oh, what heartache. Oh, what heartache. Oh, what a heartache love can bring. Oh, why must I be all alone and never have any fun? Why can't there be someone for me? Everybody has someone.
That's Miss Jackie Day. Jackie Day, that is her second of 3 on the modern record label. Oh, Wet Heartaches is the name of the tune, December 1966 release. Let's go to Canton, Ohio for this next group. Originally from Canton, Ohio. First recorded as the Mascots on the King record label. In 1961, they changed their name to the OJs. Believe it or not, they had a release on the Apollo record label out of New York City as the OJs. But in July 1963, I forget when they signed with Imperial Records, but they had a ton of releases on the Imperial record label. Now, this song first released in July of 1963. I don't know why that Imperial Records re-released it. And I have a nice vinyl press. Even though the first press is vinyl, maybe it's recorded differently or they mixed it differently. I don't know, but they re-released it, and I collect the label. So when it was offered to me, I said, it's a missing number. I'll take it. But it's a cool tune. Actually, it's their final release on Imperial. So maybe that's what they did. They left the label, and Imperial re-released this record. That was the issue. But anyway, this features Eddie Levert on lead. This is produced by H.B. Barnum. This one originally released in July 1963. So Charlene, this second release here, is this the 66 release, the 93 on Billboard, and number 26 on WPTR in Albany? Was that from 63 or 66? I don't know. But either way, it's a cool tune. This is the August 66 press, the OJs on Imperial with Lonely Drifter.
All alone without me, a girl. I'm wondering, will I forever be a lonely drifter, watching the waves slowly drifting out the sea? 'Cause I don't wanna have to be a lonely drifter. On this way, maybe tomorrow, they say, or will it ever happen that way? Watching the waves slowly drifting out the sea. Is it too late for me? Help me somebody.
Those are the OJs. That's their last single on Imperial Records. It was earlier released, I think Imperial 5-9 something, which I have. I have a lot of the Imperial. I don't have the early ones I'm looking for. Fat Man Matthews. I need that 45. But anyway, those are the OJs there. Eddie Levert and the OJs, August 1966. A reissue on Imperial. A legitimate number, though. That is a legitimate. It's not like one of their reissue. Like you can get The Showman, It Will Stand is like a reissue number on Imperial. But that is a authentic number that fits in the numbering sequence, and that's what I collected, the Imperial label. As we continue here on Vinyl Treasures, up next, a group from the Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland area began recording way back in 1958 on Monument Records. Maybe some of you out there know the song Honey, Honey. Then in 1961, they had a release on Felsted called Singing Waters. I think the flip was called Blushing Bride, I think is the flip side. But then in 1965, they had this release on the Soulville label, which is out of Atlanta, Georgia, which was later picked up on the Josie label. And I know that Andrew Turner has the Josie second press of this. I do too. I couldn't find, and it's not in this great shape. I don't know where I got this record, but I like this record here. And Josie must have liked it because they actually released it twice. They released it in November of 65 with I think a 900 number. Then they re-released it in January 69 with like a 1000 number. I don't know why they did that. I have no clue, but this is the first way on Soulville Records. The lead singer on this, his name is Ronald Henderson. Ronald Henderson, he's the lead, and he was the lead back in 1958. But here he is in August 65. They're called the True Tones. The True Tones on Soulville, and the tune is, even the title is slightly off. Well, this is the original title. It's called He's Got Nerve.
Tell me what's your name.
Here I am, standing on the corner again.
Tell me just the same.
Waiting for that girl to come back. Maybe someday, said maybe someday I'll have the nerve, yeah, to give a lead.
Those are the True Tones. True Tones from August 1965 on the Soulville record label. That is the first label. It's called He's Got Nerve. And, of course, when Josie Records released it, they said He's Got the Nerve. They changed the title. And the lead singer on that is Ronald Henderson. And if you look in the writer credit on this one, it says Ronnie is the writer. So he actually wrote the tune there. And Andrew Turner asked Johnny G to flip it over. So we will do we'll do an instant flip. We'll put that to the side later on in the show. We will do that. If there is a song that you like or that you know is good, we will play it, and just let me know in the chat room there. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we go out to Los Angeles, California for this gal. She was discovered by Barry White. Yes, Barry White discovered this gal and got her signed to Bronco Records. I think, was it Bob Keane owned Bronco Records? I think. Possibly, but she had 4 releases on the Bronco label. This is her second, and co-written by Barry White. Her real name is Viola Mae Wilkerson, but she recorded as Viola Wills. This was a big top 40 record on KRLA out in Los Angeles, California, and also in Miami, Florida on WAME. Top 40 tune for this gal, Viola Wills. We go back to November 1966. On the Bronco label, Viola Wills with Together Forever. That's Miss Viola Wills. Viola Wills, November 1966 release. It's on the Bronco record label, Together Forever. You know, I didn't even think that Pat Powell Drill, she also did that on the Downey label. I have that. I have a red vinyl copy, not in great shape. Greg sold, it's great. Well, Greg sold it to me for like $50 or $40, I think, but I'm looking for an upgrade. I am looking for upgrades Bright Brine Corn, I am looking for upgrades. But I like that record. I think that's a cool dancing record. I can see myself dancing with Barbara. Not everything, but there's certain beats that I can actually do pretty well. And it was funny, when I used to go to the Christmas parties, when I used to work for Transamerica Leasing, I think the people were totally shocked. They didn't even know that I was a record collector. And it was funny. I had a phone call the other day, and the girl goes to me, but before I knew what she was calling for, she says, "I like your voice." I said, "Really?" I said, "You like my voice? Do you know what I do?" I said, "I'm an accountant. I'm not a singer, but I do a radio show." She goes, "You got the voice." It was fun. When I went on Match.com, which was back in 2000 and actually before, but when I met Barbara in 2010, it asked me the question, what would they notice most about you? And I said, my voice. And then when I spoke to Delana on the other station, she liked my voice, and then the rest was history. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and this next singer is out of Philadelphia. Started singing with gospel groups back in 1953. Then he formed his own vocal group called the Gainers, and they had some pretty cool 1950s vocal group harmony records, like on Red Top and Cameo and Mercury Tally-Ho records. And then him and his group, the Enchanters, had a big #4 Billboard hit. I'm sure many of you know the song called Cry Baby. Came out on United Artists in 1963. Then he and the Enchanters, they sort of split up, and he went solo in 1964, and he had a bunch of releases on United Artists Records, and this is on the subsidiary Veep record label, and this is his second of 3 on Veep Records, and this one here he produced, and it's from September 1966. Let's give a listen to Mr. Garnet Mims. Garnet Mims on the Veep label. It's called Keep On Smilin'.
Nobody knows the heartache you caused me. Nobody knows what I've been through. All these years I've stood by your side. Now you're gone, and here's what I'll have to do. I'll have to keep on smiling. Even though I'm hurting inside, I've got to keep on smiling, just to save my foolish pride, yeah. Save my foolish pride. Now people think that I'm a happy man because I hold my head up high. But here's one thing they don't understand, that I miss you being by my side. Oh, I've got to keep on smiling. Even though I'm hurting inside, I've got to keep on smiling, just to save my foolish pride, yeah. Save my foolish pride. Nobody cares how hard it's been. Darling, I've searched for you this wide world over, and I wonder when will my heart again. Oh, I've got to keep on smiling. Even though I'm hurting inside, I've got to keep on smiling, just to save my foolish pride, yeah.
September 1966. That's the great Garnet Mims. Garnet Mims on Veep Records, that's a subsidiary of United Artists Records. Keep on Smilin' is the name of the tune. Johnny G's got to keep on smiling through retirement, that is for sure. I mean, I was contemplating if I should do this a partial thing, but I haven't had the discussion yet with management, but I don't think they're going to cut my job in half. And that's not going to work good for Johnny G. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show for this next gal. She was born in Harlem, New York as Doris Higginson, but then she began recording as Doris Payne. She had releases in 1960 on Everest and the Shirley label. Then she signed with Atlantic in 1963 and changed her name again, this time to Doris Troy. She had 4 releases on the Atlantic label. I'm sure you know her biggest, which was her first one on Atlantic. It was called Just One Look, but let's give a spin to her 4th release. This one from January 1965. Give a listen to Doris Troy. Doris Troy on the Atlantic label, and the tune is called He Don't Belong to Me.
Every time I see that guy, how much I want to cry, but I walk away, not a word will I say. I'll hold all my tears inside. I can't reveal what I really feel. My love, I'll have to hide. I can't let him know he don't belong to me. No, 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 he don't belong to me. I said he don't belong to me. Oh, how I wish that he was really mine, so I could love him, sure enough could love him. Wish I could love him all the time, but he's with her every day, and he never looks my way, and all that I can say is no, no, he don't belong to me. He don't belong to me. Every time I go to sleep, how simple it all seems. He gives me such a kiss that I can't resist. Then it's just another dream. When I awake, it's the other love he takes. And how I wish that love was me. I can't let him know, 'cause he don't belong to me. And I cried because he don't belong to me. It hurt me so bad, it hurt me so bad.
Now that's the sound of Doris Troy. Doris Troy there, her 4th release on the Atlantic record label, song entitled He Don't Belong to Me. That one there from January 1965. Now she would have other releases also on Calla, I think on Capitol, and Jerry mentioned also Apple Records and Midland International also, and then I think they changed their name to something else, Midland something. But and it was unfortunate. I think she passed away in 2004 from emphysema, unfortunately. I think that was the issue there, but great sounds of Doris Troy. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, I tell you that my Aunt Mary, who unfortunately she passed away a couple years ago, she was supposed to be a guest listener on my show, and it just never happened, unfortunately. But this was in her collection. She loved this record here by this artist by the name of Robert Von Hebb, and he is from Nashville, Tennessee, and this great singer, songwriter, musician, best known for his 1966 biggest hit. I'm sure many of you know the song, if not all of you know the song called Sunny. But one lesser hit was called The Satisfied Mind, but my aunt bought the record for the flip side of that record. But this song written, arranged, and produced by Jerry Ross and Joe Ranzetti. This one from September 1966. It's really a B-side, although they like to dance to this side. This is Bobby Hebb. Bobby Hebb on the Phillips label. It's called Love, Love, Love.
Smile you give me that makes my day seem brighter. Love is your arms around me, makes my troubles lighter. When I hold your hand so tightly, I feel that I am stronger. I feel so much about you, I just can't wait no longer. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire, all the sweet tender nights and the kisses, setting my soul on fire. Baby, love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love knows no limits, baby. It's sweet and yet there's heartache. Love is the sound of laughter a boy and girl make. Sweet love is all around you. Pleasure, and yet there's so much pain. Oh, the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire. Oh, the sweet tender nights and the kissing, setting my soul on fire. Baby, love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. That's making me surrender. When I look into your soft eyes, I melt like candy jam. I'd do anything to please you. Yes, anything I can. For the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire. For the sweet tender nights and the kisses, setting my soul on fire. Love is a dream come true. Love is a girl like you. Love is a dream come true. Love is a girl. Oh, the wonderful touch of your lips, the wonderful warmth of desire.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That is a Bobby Hebb. Bobby Hebb from September 1966. That's on the Phillips record label. Song entitled Love, Love, Love. Unfortunate that we lost Bobby Hebb August 3rd of 2010. He was 72 years old, and he passed away from lung cancer, unfortunately. We remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back up to Chicago now for this next group. Began recording for Smash Records back in 1964. Then they moved over to ABC Records. They have quite a few. They have 7 releases on ABC Records, but this is their first release on the Smash label. And one of the, when you look at records, if you're looking at a record box and you see Johnny Pate as an arranger or producer, you probably should buy the record. That's another one you should keep your eyes open for, Johnny Pate. This one's from July of 1964. And these are the Trends on Smash Records, and their tune is called, in parentheses, To Be Happy Enough. The Trends. That's the first of two on Smash for a group called The Trends. The Trends, that one there, July 1964. Smash Records, To Be, parentheses, Happy Enough is the name of the tune. It was always fun out in the wild. You call it collecting out in the wild. And when I was in high school, I didn't really learn how to drive. I had a 71 Chevy Impala with a rusted out trunk that I bought for $500 with like 190,000 miles on it. But I would go to a lot of garage sales on Saturday. I would go to like the local towns. I'd look in the paper. There'd be like pages and pages of garage sales. And a lot of times you'd come up empty, but it was fun to find records like that for like 10 cents. And I was collecting everything at the time, and I didn't really know what to look for. So a lot of the records that I do have was just by sheer luck. And then I ended up connecting with a bunch of other record dealers, and they wanted to get rid of a lot of their 60s records, and they were cheap. You can have them for $1 or 50 cents or whatever if you buy in bulk, and that's what I did. But I was spending big bucks for 50s stuff. And I had to do it because there was no way that I could collect what I wanted unless I made a certain amount of money. So I made sure that I said, well, look, I got to make X amount of money to be able to have this disposable income to spend on records. Other things suffered, yes, but I did buy some records that are probably more valuable today than they were way back when. And I've gotten others much cheaper, that people thought were nothing records that are expensive in price. Not to babble on, but let's continue here as we go back to Chicago, Illinois for this next group, and their debut single was in 1965 on the Satellite record label. They put out 5 more on the sister label, which was, I think it was Dick Simon's Satellite label, if I'm not mistaken. St. Lawrence, we go back to that St. Lawrence label. We heard Mamie P. Galore earlier. This is the same label. And this was their first, written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Bobby Newsom. He's the lead on this. This is from November 66. These are the Vontastics. The Vontastics on St. Lawrence. It's called Never Let Your Love Grow Cold. Those are the Vontastics, November 66 on St. Lawrence Records. That is Never Let Your Love Grow Cold. That one there, Bobby Newsom on lead. We're going to flip it over for listener Mark Speck later in the show. Let's move on here on the All 60s edition for this next artist, originally from Shreveport, Louisiana, but he started recording back in 1958. He headed out California way. He was a member of Little Freddie and the Rockets. His real name is Alfred Smith, but he recorded as Brenton Wood. And one of the records that my aunt always loved by him was called the Oogum Boogum Song. And of course, Gimme Little Sign was another one. And I feature him quite often here on the 60s edition of the Vinyltreasure Show. But he had a release on Wand, I think, in 63. But this is after that. This is his second of 3 on Bob Shad's Brent record label. This is from September 66, another record I found in the wild for a quarter. This is Brenton Wood on the Brent record label, and the tune is called Sweet Molly Malone.
alive, oh, 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 alive, yeah, 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 alive, oh, 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 I was passing through Kansas City, where the girls are so pretty. That's where I first saw sweet Molly Malone. When I was a stranger to that sweet teenager, I hadn't figured on stopping until I saw Molly Malone. Yeah, I saw her every day, she sure was pretty. Oh, and I knew I had to stay in Kansas City. Oh, my girl, I got to win. Oh, my baby, yeah, all your love. The minute I saw her, I felt something for her. So I got her number and called her on the phone. Well, I got myself a wife now, a brand new way of life now, and her name is, you guessed it, sweet Molly Malone. Alive, oh, 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 oh. I saw her every day, she sure was pretty. Alive, oh, 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 oh. I knew I had to stay in Kansas City. Alive, oh, 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 alive, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's Brenton Wood, great Brenton Wood there. That's a cool tune. Brenton Wood from September 1966. Bob Shad's Brent label, another label that I collect. Sweet Molly Malone. Of course, the Brent records, I was mesmerized by two records. I was only, got to think, I was born in 58. So 1959, there were two records that my aunt, and look, my aunt bought two records. They were big hits. It Was I by Skip and Flip, and I think Baby Talk by Jan and Dean. And you got to remember, for a toddler, I was like 1 year old, and watching the labels, that feather spin around on that blue label and this red label with the Brent logo spinning around, I was mesmerized. I was just mesmerized by the records turning around. And I remember she would go to work, and my Uncle Philip, he was retired, he was there. I would like tell him to play the records, and she had those metal inserts, but he split the records. He broke them. I remember she had the Edsels, Ramalama Ding Dong. She had it on twin, and he split the record in half, and she never took good care of her records at all. I mean, as I got older, you know, she used to buy these 45s from the jukebox guy that would go around the town and fill the jukeboxes with records. It was, you know, ad hoc, 25 records for $2. That's a steal. So she wasn't the normal record collector, and that's where I got, like, where she had some of those rare records in her collection. But she wasn't the normal teenager, but her and her girlfriends. And you know, when she passed away, all her girlfriends came over, and they were talking with me about it, and they actually had me go look at their records. And not that there was anything special in their records. My aunt, I know her records are special, and I still have them. They're all destroyed, but they are keepsakes for Johnny G. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Somebody asked me for this record. I did a test show on what was it, Friday night, I think? I did a test show, and I had a bunch of people in the chat room, and I forget who requested this record. This was aside for someone. Maybe they're watching, but this next singer was instrumental in creating the biggest dance sensation of all time. of all time. And everybody in the world was doing the twist back in 1960 and 61. Of course, his real name was Ernest Evans. He was from Spring Gully, South Carolina, and it's amazing how many releases he had on the Parkway record label. I think he had like 40 maybe, possibly, 40 records. Well, this is his 39th, believe it or not. And this tune, written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, arranged by Jimmy the Whiz Wisner. And this is the intended A-side here from September 1966. I'm talking about Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker on the Parkway label. It's called Looking at Tomorrow.
Hey mama, wake up and look around. All your chrome and pencil idols have just crumbled to the ground. Your credit card's been canceled. We have killed a sacred cow. And you're looking at tomorrow right now. Gotta find a place that's a million miles from your 14-carat life. Gotta find a place where this hung-up world can be cut right down the side. So long now, mama, there's still hope yet. Gonna buy myself an island where the sun won't ever set. And I'll send invitations to drifters just like me, who are looking at tomorrow and hating what they see. Gotta find a place that's a million miles from your 14-carat life. Gotta find a place where this hung-up world can be cut right down the side. I send invitations to drifters just like me, who are looking at tomorrow and hating all what they see. And we're looking at tomorrow right now. And we're looking at tomorrow right now. 'Cause we're looking at tomorrow right now.
September 66 release there for Mr. Chubby Checker. That's his 39th release on the Parkway record label. Looking at Tomorrow is the name of that one. We continue here on the All 60s edition for this next gal. She was born in Newberry, South Carolina, but she spent most of her life in Linden, New Jersey. Her real name is Minnie Lee Curry, but she was known as Jackie and used Jackie Montreal for her singing name. And she was first a member of a group called the Parisians. The Parisians, they have two releases on the Maltese label. I have one of them. I think I'm missing their other one. Maybe I have both. I just don't recall. But anyway, this is... I think that was in 1967 she went solo, and she had a release on the Ready label, which was later picked up by ABC for national distribution, and that's how I have it. But the funny thing is, both sides of the record were one word titles, and they're spelled out more on the ABC release. Now, George Kerr, he co-wrote this tune. It was called Doom on the Ready label, but they lengthened it to Doomed by Jealousy on the ABC release. So this is from January 68. Let's give a listen to Jackie Montreal, M-O-N-T-R-E space E-L, ABC Records. It's called Doomed by Jealousy.
I can't stand girls to talk to my guy. I get angry when he laughs with his friends. I don't know why. This obsession is driving me crazy. There's got to be a curse on me. Oh, why did he do me do? I wanna know why me to be doomed by jealousy. Doomed by jealousy. Why me? Doomed by jealousy. Oh, in heaven's name, I know he's true to me. But why am I accusing him of everything? Is there any hope in sight? Lord, I want to control it with all my might. Oh, why did he to be doomed? I want to know why he to be doomed by jealousy. Doomed by jealousy. Why me? Doomed by jealousy. Ooh, will it last? Will it last forever? Will it soon? Will it soon? We're all in time. I've got to get myself together. I'm going to fly my baby right on out of his mind. Oh, why did he to be doomed? I wanna know why he to be doomed by jealousy. Doomed by jealousy. Why me? Doomed by jealousy. Why did you pick me? Oh yeah. Doomed by jealousy. Why me? Doomed by jealousy.
That's her name is Jackie Montreal. Jackie Montreal, January 1968 release. That's on the ABC Paramount record label. Doomed by Jealousy is the name of the tune. I forget the flip side here. It's one word on the Ready label. That's the first label. Looks like a styrene press, and then ABC Records picked it up for national distribution. Let's go out to Los Angeles, California for this next singer. He was one half of the duo Earl and Bob, Earl Nelson, and this singer initially recorded as Bobby Ralph, and he also recorded as Bobby Valentine in 1962 on the Light label. I have that 45, and I'm talking about Bobby Ralph here, but he's recording as Bobby Garrett, and this is on the Mirrorwood record label. He and both Earl Nelson co-wrote this tune. This charted number 18 on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio. This one from December 65. Give a listen to Bobby Garrett, a.k.a. Bobby Ralph. This is on Mirrorwood Records. It's called I Can't Get Away.
My life to me don't mean a thing. Girl, you pull the strings, a joke of a man. Yes, you did.
December 65 release there for Bobby Garrett, a.k.a. Bobby Ralph. That's on the Mirwood record label. I Can't Get Away is the name of that tune. We continue now, and up next, this next singer, his real name is Francis Rodney Zambon, and he was born in 1940 in Houston, Texas. He was a close friend with the singer B.J. Thomas and wrote hits for B.J. like Hooked on a Feeling, and I also think he wrote The Eyes of a New York Woman. I like that record. I like both those songs, by the way. But he also wrote hits for Elvis and Brenda Lee, and he also wrote and recorded his own tunes and actually original versions of songs. And you know this the song called Moody Blue that Elvis had a hit with in 1975? Well, this singer recorded it back in 1968, and it became a big #1 record, of course, for Elvis, as did this one. And this singer sang it first, and he wrote it. This is from July 1968. His name is Mark James. Mark James is his name. This is on the Scepter label, and this is the original version, before Elvis's, of Suspicious Minds.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. But why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? Suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if I'm no friend I know, stop by to say hello, but I still see suspicion in your eyes. Don't let a good thing die. When honey, you know I have never lied to you. Yeah. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Don't you know I'm caught in a trap? I know I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
That's the original version there of Suspicious Minds, released in July 1968. That's Mark James. Mark James, he wrote the tune, issued on the Scepter record label. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, filling a request for Peter, who was watching Johnny G on his Texas big screen TV. And how am I looking, Peter, on the TV there? As he wanted to hear this cool Ike and Tina Turner tune. Actually, this is their third of four releases on Phil Spector and Lester Sill's Phyllis record label. The tune written by Phil Spector, Jeff Barry, and Ellie Greenwich, produced by Phil Spector and arranged by Jack Nietzsche. This charted number 35 on WSGN in Birmingham, Alabama. We go back to June 1967. This is going out to listener Peter, Ike and Tina Turner on the Phyllis label. It's called I'll Never Need More Than This.
Oh, I love the songs you sing me, and I love the love you bring me, and you never know where I feel inside. I can only say that I'm all filled up with pride, loving you, loving you. I'll never go
As by request for Peter, the Ike and Tina Turner there. I haven't heard that in a long time, I got to tell you that. June 1967 release on the Phyllis record label, I'll Never Need More Than This. That one there with the Phil Spector Wall of Sound. I have another one coming up later on here for listener Cheryl Morgan. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Andrew, I'm great that you bought that record. Hope you didn't pay that much for it. It shouldn't have gone for that much. But anyway, up next, this group, they're originally from Columbus, Ohio, and this is their release on Morris Levy's Roulette record label, written by the group's guitarist. His name is Jerry Sechler. Sechler. Sechleer. And also the lead singer of this, his name is Mel Wynn. And we go back to February of 1966 for Mel Wynn, Wynn, and the Rhythm Aces. This is on Morris Levy's Roulette record label, and their tune is called Darling Dear.
Darling dear, I love you ever so much. I love the magic of your sweet gentle touch. The way you talk to me, the way that you smile. I know you love me, but it takes you a while to think it over and say you want me. So let it be, girl. That's the way it'll always be, yeah. Your arms around me and you hold me so tight. Then you move away and say it's not right. I steal a kiss and then I steal another. But baby, we both know there'll never be another. Oh, for you. Oh, girl, for me. So let it be, girl. That's the way it'll always be, yeah. Everything you say and everything you do, it comes out to me, I love you. One day, baby, it's just not too far away. I pledge my love to you and listen to you say that you want me. Oh, you need me. So let it be, girl. That's the way it'll always be. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, let it be, girl. That's the way it'll always be. Oh, fever, 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 let it be, girl. That's the way it'll always be. Yeah, honey, honey, let it be, girl.
That's Johnny G getting caught here. That's February 1966 release. Mel Wynn and the Rhythm Aces is the name of the group. That one there on the Roulette record label. Darling Dear is the name of the tune. Of course, Mark mentioned they have two more releases on the Juan record label that came out in 1968. Now, interesting thing about this next record, because it's out of Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. I don't know anything about this group, though. So I used to work for Sony BMG back in 2000, I think it was 2005. No, yeah, 2005. 2005, before I am currently where I am with the utility company. So they had offices in Lyndhurst, New Jersey by medieval times, and it was a ride, but I would drive through 17, through the certain towns through 17. So I would get gas in Hasbrook Heights. I think that's where it was, in Hasbrook Heights. I would stop into the gas station there, and there was like a sign that said that there was like a garage sale, which was really close by. I asked the tenant there, I said, where is this? And he goes, it's in the back over here. And I drove there, and it was about 5 o'clock, and they were closing up, and they had some records. And this 45 was there, which I thought was interesting, because I don't know anything about this group, except that it's out of Hasbrook Heights. The label's called Lucifer, Luci-FER. And I think this group is from the Edison, Metuchen, New Jersey area. I think that's where this group is from. And this is their lone release. It was written by someone by the name of Bob Thompson, and this is the A-side. It's from 1968. They're called The Love Tones, 2 words, The Love Tones. This is on Lucifer Records, and it's called Stop This Thinking. Is that right? Yeah. Stop This Thinking of You. These are the Love Tones.
Every moment another day, I think about the way that you smile at me. And though our love is true, the thoughts of holding you make me drift away. Ever since our love began, the only girl I think of is you. Just told me, baby, that I'm your man. No what else can I do but think of you, baby. The nights are always long. I wonder if I'm wrong or it's your mistake. Don't wanna pretend to love the girl I'm thinking of. Let me go and pray. First you loved me, there I was, believing every word that you said. Then you left me, broke my heart. I can't get you out of my head. I think of you always. Well, babe, our love is through. I decided new with another girl. Our love might have been strong, but girl, you did me wrong, so just go away. Leave me here to live my life and do what I want to do. Let me find another girl and stop this thinking of you. Stop this thinking of you. Stop this thinking of you.
That's an oddball sound by the Love Tones. It reminds me of, you know, the television commercial called Cool Shakes. I think the Tokens did that. The Cool Shakes. Some of they would, if you watch some of the old American Bandstand clips, they have like these kids on the beach shaking their Cool Shakes and whatnot. That's what that reminded me of. I just thought it was an oddball record. There you go. That's for Fred. We'll send that one out to Fred. May 1968 released the Love Tones on the Lucifer record label. Stop This Thinking of You is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Monday evening on Oldies and More Radio. Thank you all for tuning into the program, and also those of you on the YouTube stream there. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you can send me requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Disc jockeys love to get emails from the listeners. That is a fact. Let's continue here for this next tune. Actually, this is a cover song. This tune written by Rudy Clark, Ralph Bailey, and Johnny Northern. Now, the song is called Everything, and I have featured it on the Vinyl Treasure Show by three previous singers. Or I think I have. It's been three. Yeah. I played this back in this side. I played back in 2014, but the song was first recorded by the Orlons. The Orlons did this tune back in January of 67 on ABC Records. Then in February of 67, someone by the name of Chris, K-R-I-S, he recorded it on the Mala label. I've played that here on the show. Then in December of 1968, the song was done by a group called the Younger Society on the Smash label, which I have played that also. But this one is from May of 68, and the interesting thing here is that it's a Piney Wood production, and Piney Wood was a production company associated with Ellie Greenwich and Mike Rashko. I think that's his name. So there's involvement with this record, but this is the second of two for this group. Came out on the Parrot record label. They're called The Daily News, like the newspaper, The Daily News, May 1968. The Daily News on Parrot Records, and their rendition of the tune, Everything.
I'll bring you laughter, make you feel like a child upon a swing.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That is the Daily News from May 1968. A cover of that Orleans tune, Everything. That one there came out on the Parrot record label. Let's continue here for this next group. They're from South Wales. They formed back in 1964. Originally, they were known as the Ricky, R-I-K-K-I, the Ricky Allen Trio. Consisted of Alan Smith and his brother Jerry and also Mark Goodman. When they added one more member, his name is Mike Parker, they became known as the Interns. And this was their only U.S. single. I think they had 4 UK releases, but that originally the UK release came out in July of 1966 on the Parlophone label. This was released here in the States on the Capitol label from October 1966. Let's give a listen to the Interns on Capitol, and they're asking the question, is it really what you want? A cold ending there on that 45. They're called the Interns, October 1966 release on the Capitol record label. Is It Really What You Want is the name of the tune. Johnny G here spinning 1960s 45. We go back to 1965 now for this next singer from Birmingham, Alabama. This is a request for listener Amnon. Now this singer first recorded as a member of a group called the Tikis. The Tikis that recorded on the Minaret record label back in 1963, but he had 2 solo releases that came out on United Artists, and I'm featuring his first. His real name is Len Wade McDaniels, but he shortened it to just Len Wade, and this song charted regionally. This was a big number 11 record on WQTW out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Let's go back to July 1965. This is for Amnon, Mr. Len Wade. Len Wade on the United Artists record label, and the tune called The Night the Angels Cried. I think this is on Crappy Styrene.
the night the angels cry. Look to be perfect. I must have been perfection as always. Please join my hand. The wind whispers softly. Love that just died, and the rain dried, turning a teardrop. Oh, the night the angels cry.
That's going out to Amnon there. That's Len Wade, July 65. The Night the Angels Cried on the United Artists record label. That is what Damaged Styrene sounds like, by the way. That little tingy sound there. Unfortunately for that disc jockey copy. Anyway, I apologize for that as we continue here on Vinyl Treasures. And up next, this gal had this release on a cool label. And I saw the label. I said, wow, this must be a groovy record because it's on the Groovy record label out of Chicago, Illinois, and I don't know anything else about it. It's written and arranged by Ronald Saunders, and I think she has another release that came out on the Columbia label, but this is from 1963, I think. Her name is Joanne Smith. Joanne Smith on the Groovy record label, and her tune is called I Don't Care.
Darling, I don't care. Be on your way. I don't care. Don't want you to stay. It makes me happy just to see you go. Oh yeah. You cheated. You lied, invented alibis, tried to fool me, yeah, but you schooled me. All I've got to say, be on your way. Don't try to fill me with lots of jive, for now, it just won't you thought you had someone you could play games on, but now the tables are turned. Oh, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care.
We'll send that one out to Warren Russell. That is his slow dance. There, that cool tune there, Joanne Smith, kind of a little bit reminded me of some of the riffs of Barbara Lynn. You'll definitely lose a good thing. That one there's a 1963 release on the Groovy label. You can't pass up a Groovy 45 like that. Joanne Smith with I Don't Care. Johnny G definitely cares. From 8 to 11 p.m. right here on Oldies and More Radio. Let's continue now for this next singer. Although originally from Wayne County, North Carolina, All of his activity as a soul singer transpired in New York City. And here is the A-side to his debut single, came out on the Phillips record label, written by Margaret Nash, the wife of Johnny Nash. This one from March of 1964. Let's give a listen to Charles Hodges. Charles Hodges here on the Phillips record label, and his tune is called I'll Never Go to a Party Again.
A party again. No, no, never, never, I'll never go to a party again. I took my baby to a party last night. Everything was alright until we walked into the room with the dim lit light. That's why I a party again. No, no, never, never, I'll never go to a party again. Music played softly as she danced with another guy. Let me tell you, I started to cry. I felt like I could die. That's why a party again. No, no, never, never, never go to a party again. You've heard the reason why I say what I say, why I mean what I say, when I say I hate a party that way. No, no, never, 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 I'll never go to a party again. No, no, never, 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 I'll never go party again.
That's a cool tune there by Charles Hodges. Charles Hodges from March 1964. That's on the Phillips label. I'll Never Go to a Party Again. Haven't been to many parties with Barbara in the last 2 years, I can say that. I wouldn't say I'll never go again, though. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show, up next, this girl group out of Brooklyn, New York. Now, their debut single came out on the Laurie label in 1964. They were called the Delrons on that release. Then, when they signed to World Artists Records, their managers, Bill and Steve Jerome, decided that a name change was needed, so they became Reparata and the Delrons. Now, Reparata was really Mary Anise Aisi. That's how you say it, Aisi. And they followed, they had a big hit with a song called, well, it wasn't a big hit, but it was their hit, Whenever a Teenager Cries. That was their first of 4 on World Artists, but they signed with RCA Records. This is their second of 5 for RCA Records, a tune written by Jeff Barry and Mary Aisi. I think that's how you say it, Mary Aisi. She's the lead singer on this. This was a number 28 record on WOGO out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Santi, where is New Smyrna Beach, Florida? I don't know where that is, but it was a number 26, a number 28, no, can't see here, 28 record on WOGO. This is from April 66. Give a listen to Reparata and the Delrons on RCA. It's called I'm Nobody's Baby Now.
Ever since
and now he's gone. And I'm nobody's baby now. I'm on my own. Nobody's baby now. I've got to find my home. Flowers, candy, silver rings he bought me. Little things like love he taught me. I gave my heart and soul to him. All the things I told to him, like I love you. And now he's gone. And I'm nobody's baby now. I'm on my own. Nobody's baby now. I've got to find my heart. All the things we did together, they just don't make it by myself. Other boys have called, but I just can't picture touching anybody else. So I'm nobody's baby now. I'm on my own. Nobody's baby now. I've got to find my home. Listen now, I'm nobody's baby now. I'm on my own.
We'll send that one out to Man from Yesterday in our YouTube chat room there, as he remembers that record played on WMCA here in New York City. And that's Reparata and the Delrons, April 1968 release. That's their second of 5 for the RCA record label. I'm Nobody's Baby Now. That could be the truth for Johnny G as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And last week, I played the flip side of this 45, a great Darlene Love tune on the Phyllis record label, He's a Quiet Guy, for listener Peter in Texas. And it was Cheryl Morgan who asked Johnny G to flip it over. We're also going to send this one out to Dennis Fluharty, listening to the Vinyl Treasure Show, because I know he likes Darlene Love. This record was number 50 on WIBG in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, until Phil Spector pulled it with the disagreement with Darlene Love. But it's a great two-sided 45 from July 1964 for Cheryl, Dennis, and Peter. Miss Darlene Love on Phyllis Records. Her tune is called Stumble and Fall.
But I
July 64 release for the great Darlene Love on the Phyllis record label. Stumble and Fall is the name of that one. That's going out to Cheryl Morgan, Dennis, and Peter. As we move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we're going to get to those flip sides momentarily here. But let's go to this next singer from Atlanta, Georgia. He was the lead singer of the 1950s group The Cashmeres. I just played their record last Saturday night on Herald Records from 1956. His real name was Grover Mincy, but he would go solo in 1961 under the name Grover Mitchell, recording on many different labels: Hunter, VJ, Cindy, TCF, Decca, United Artists, and this label, Jerry Blaine's Josie Records. This is his second of 3 on the Josie label. It's a song he wrote. We go back to December of 1966. Let's give a listen to Grover Mitchell. This is on Josie Records. It's called I Don't Want to Hear It, Baby.
I don't wanna hear it, baby. Don't say our love is through. I don't wanna hear it, baby. Don't say you found someone new. I don't wanna hear about that other guy. If you got to tell me a lie, oh, I don't wanna hear it, baby. Not after all I've been through. I don't wanna hear it, baby. Don't say he's just your friend. I don't wanna hear it, baby. You know it's got to end. 'Cause if you ever say goodbye, I'm gonna lay you right down and die. 'Cause you know I don't wanna hear it, baby. Not after all I've been through. Oh, I know all good things must someday come to an end. Oh yeah, but until the day they bury me, I want you to understand. Ow, I don't wanna hear it, baby. Don't make me sad and blue. I don't wanna hear it, baby. No matter what you do. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but listen, I don't care what they say. 'Cause I don't wanna hear it, baby. Not after all I've been through. Hey, I tell you, I don't wanna hear it, baby. Hey, I don't wanna hear it, baby. I don't wanna hear it, baby. Don't say our love is through.
That's the second of 3 for Grover Mitchell, December 1966 release on the Josie record label. I Don't Want to Hear It, Baby is the name of the tune. Unfortunate demise for Mr. Grover Mitchell there. He died in March of 1984. He was only 52 years old, and he died from an overdose of heroin, unfortunately. But remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here. Actually, a touch of the 70s here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. This record released in 1971. Interesting story on how I got this record. I used to listen to a lot of the collector shows on WHBI. I think, where were they? Out of New Jersey, WHBI FM. And Ronnie I was on there, the Roy Adams Show, Bobby O and Jive and Joe. A whole bunch of all these doo-wop shows were on there. But late at night, I think it was either 1 a.m. or whatever, this guy Johnny Angel came on. And he would have a contest where you had to guess the endings of the 5 songs that he played. And you'd have to write them in on a postcard. And if you were the winner, he would send you 5 45s. He sent me, I wrote them down somewhere. One was definitely a Dusty Springfield record, a good one that she does with a picture sleeve. And this was in that package too, and these were free. These were in the mail. He didn't even charge you $1. He just mailed them to you, and this was in there. Now I don't know if it was 1971 or what year it was, but this record was released in 1971. I have no info about it though. It's on the Mad Hatter record label. It was written by someone by the name of Billy Durham, Lehman Cox, and Mark Davis. This is from 71. They're called Living Color. Living Color on the Mad Hatter record label, and it's called Thank the Lord for Love.
Did you know somewhere there's someone who sits all alone? Did you know one single step takes you further from home? Asia, your day must turn. Would you break down? Could you stand firm? Maybe you'd be with your heart burned. Should you buy your love for? Should you know what you're living for? So tell the man of my love, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, oh yeah, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, love. Did you know that there are many in search of romance? Might it be simply that some folks aren't given a chance? Asia, your day must turn. Would you break down? Could you stand firm? Maybe you'd be with your heart burned. Should you buy your apple door? You know what you're living for. So tell the man of my love, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, oh yeah, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, Did you know that there are many in search of romance? Might it be simply that some folks aren't given a chance? Asia, day must turn. Would you break down? Could you stand firm? Maybe you'd be with your heart burned. Should you buy your apple door? You know what you're living for. So tell the man of my love, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, oh yeah, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, love. Thank the Lord, yeah, thank the Lord,
Mark Speck tells me that the flip side is like a big dancing record. I don't know. I got it for free. I'm telling you. So that's the cheapest I'm ever going to get a record for is free. That is for sure. But it's 1971. Living Color. Living Color, the name of the group. It's on the Mad Hatter record label. It looks pretty cool. It looks like earlier than 71. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the record. Thank the Lord for Love is the name of the tune. Let's continue here after this next record. We'll get to some of the flip sides, and then I got a few more to go before we sign off here on the All 60s edition. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. Hope you enjoyed the tunes tonight. For this next singer, he's from Tyler, Alabama, but he moved to Chicago back in 1956 and sang with the gospel group the Royal Jubilees. Then in 1964, he had his first solo release on the Kent label. I think I played it last week, Charlene, if I'm not mistaken. I played a Johnny Williams last week, but his biggest hit was in 1972 on Philly International, a song called Slow Motion. But here is one from 1968 on the Twilight record label, his second of two on Twilight Records. We go back to November of 1968 for Johnny Williams. Johnny Williams on the Twilight label, and the name of the tune is called Maggie.
Maggie, Maggie, the whole world is down on me. I can't stand this world alone. If I had only let you explain. But when you said that our love was true, then there was no one else I wanted but you. And after all that you said and done, my love to you was just a bundle of fun. Maggie, ooh Maggie, the things that you made me see now. Without you, I can't go home. If I'd forgiven you, I wouldn't be alone. But is it love when you start all over? Or is it look from a four-leaf clover? But should you care of the things in the past? If you can stand it, why not make it last?
I'll send that one out to my mom. They call her Maggie. Her real name is Dominica, but they called her Maggie. That's Johnny Williams there, November 1968, release on the Twilight record label, song entitled Maggie. We'll play those flip sides after this next tune here as we go to Houston, Texas for this next group. Initially, they recorded as the Royal Masters on the Guidon record label. That's a hard record, which I do have from 1963. Then in 1968, they signed with the Ovid record label. They were known as the Masters of Soul with their first release, which was then picked up by Capitol Records, which is this record that I'm featuring, the Capitol second issue. And they changed their name at this time to the Masters of Soul. And this is their first of two on Capitol, written by, I think he's the lead singer here. His name is Ray Lee, because he wrote a couple other records too. I don't know. Anyway, the Masters of Soul here. I have it on the Capitol record label, July 1968. It's called Love Loves Love.
Love someone, love, baby, I really mean love. And have you ever loved someone? Ooh, baby, I really mean love. Ooh, when you love with all of your heart and you give all the that you got, and you know like all lovers should. Oh love is oh so good. Let me tell you now, baby, when two people are loving,
They're called the Masters of Soul. Masters of Soul from July 1968. I featured it on the Capitol label. That is the second press. Originally came out on Ovid Records, which is out of Houston, Texas. Love Loves Love is the name of that one. Let's go back to a few flip sides from earlier in the show. My number 18 record was by a group called the True Tones from August 1965. Featured side 2 of their 45 on the original label Soulville Records. It's called He's Got Nerve. Was later picked up by Josie Records. Andrew Turner asked Johnny G to flip it over. Well, we'll send it out to Andrew Turner. This is side 1 of the 45. True Tones from August 65. It's called True Love. This is for Andrew.
Seems to go right. Then a strange feeling that's love. That's love. Oh, I know that it all seems strange to you. And please try to understand. It could happen. It could have happened. Yes. Oh, yes. When you walk alone at night, and in your heart, Lord, everything seems to go right. Then a strange feeling comes on. That's love. That's love.
By request for Andrew Turner there, a great soul ballad by the True Tones. Ronald Henderson on lead there, August 1965. That's the A-side. Featured it on Soulville Records. That's the first label. You can also get it on the Josie label. True Love is the name of the tune. We go to another flip side. Record number 24 was a group called the Vontastics out of Chicago, Illinois, from November of 1966. Their first release on the St. Lawrence label. The side I featured was Never Let Let Your Love Grow Cold. And it was Mark Speck. Mark Speck asked Johnny G if we can flip it over. So this is an instant request going out to Mark Speck, the Vontastics from November 1966. Bobby Newsom, he wrote the tune. He's also on lead. It's called You Can Work It Out. This is from Mark.
Son, you can work it out. My son, you can work it out. Hey, all right. Well, that's what I say. Oh, hey. This whole wide world is a young romance between a boy and a girl. Now I've told you my story, and I'll leave this advice with you. Don't never let nobody come, son, between your girl and you, my son. You can work it out, my son. You can work it out, and you can do what you want.
Those are the Vontastics, an instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room, November 1966. It's on the St. Lawrence record label. You Can Work It Out is the name of the thing. The name of the tune. Johnny G working it out here on a Monday evening. We got another flip side request here. This is for Andrew Turner. Record number 27 tonight. I featured Jackie Montreal. Jackie Montreal on the ABC record label called Doomed by Jealousy. That one there from January 1968. Andrew requested the flip side, so we'll send this one out to Andrew here. Jackie Montreal. It's called I Worship the Ground You Walk On. This is for Andrew.
You were wrong, and you was misled. You only went by what they said. You intend on going your way, but darling, don't let them lead a love astray, because worship the ground you walk on. Baby, baby, I worship the ground you walk on, and I always will. Now think back a minute, baby. You got all I had to give. If I can't have you with me, I don't wanna live. As you read this letter, please, please excuse the tears. I know I won't do any better after all these years, because I worship the ground you walk on. Baby, baby, I worship the ground you walk on, and I always will. Darling, please believe in me, because I believe in you, and I will do anything that you desire me to. And if at any time there's any doubt in your mind, look over your shoulder, baby, I'll be right there behind. Because I worship the ground you walk on. Baby, baby, I worship the ground you walk on. I love everything about you. I worship the ground you walk on. I'll always want you by my side.
That's Miss Jackie Montreal. That one there by request for Andrew Turner. I think that's actually the intended A-side, if I'm not mistaken. January 68 on ABC Records, I Worship the Ground You Walk On. When they released that on the first label, Ready, this side was called Worship, and the flip side was called Doomed. Interesting for that. A couple more 45s to go before we sign off here on the All 60s edition. Let's go up to Detroit, Michigan for this next singer. His debut single came out in 1960 on the Cable record label with a K. His biggest hit was in 1967 on Groovesville. If you know the tune, Please Come Back Home. But this is an earlier release on the McKay's record label. It's a song he co-wrote. This charted number 19 on WAAM out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and this would subsequently be picked up by Scepter Records, but let's give it a spin here on the original label. This is on McKay's Records from January 1964. Let's give a listen to Mr. J.J. Barnes. J.J. Barnes on McKay's record. That's the first label. It's called Just One More Time.
Just like you told me
That's the sound of J.J. Barnes there. Cool tune. I like that tune there. That's the original label I featured it on. McKay's Records, J.J. Barnes with Just One More Time, January 1964. You can get that on Scepter Records also. Now, J.J. Barnes was the brother of Orthea Barnes, and she has a good one on the Coral label from 1967 that I have featured here on the Vinyl Treasures show. I keep on saying a couple more records here before we go. Let's go to Philadelphia for this next gal. Her first release, I think, was on the Phillips label, but she has two that came out on the Jamie label. Now, this is her first, and it's actually a cover song done initially by Jackie Ross in 1965. Jackie Ross did this first, I think, on Chess Records. The tune was written by Trade Martin, and this is arranged by Charlie Colello. This is from August of 1966. Her name is Anne DeAndre. Anne DeAndre. This is on the Jamie record label. Let's give a listen to her tune here, her rendition of the tune Take Me for a Little While.
I've been trying to make you love me, but everything I try just takes you further from me. You don't love me, so you treat me cruel. But no matter how you hurt me, I'll always be your fool. But if you don't want me forever, and if you don't need me forever, and if you can't love me forever, take me for a little while. I can hold you, baby, I can make you want me. I gotta stop it, baby, I need. There should be a law, baby, I need. 'Cause every time you put me down, I love you more, and I feel so helpless. I need, and it ain't funny. I need, 'cause deep down inside I know you're never gonna love me. But if you don't want me forever, and if you don't need me forever, and if you can't love me forever, take me for a little while. I can hold you, baby, I can make you want me. But if you don't want me forever, and if you don't need me forever, and if you can't love me forever, take me for a little while, so I can hold you, baby, so I can make you want me forever, 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 for a little while. Oh, I want you, baby, oh, I need you, baby, oh, yeah.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Anne DeAndre's version of the Jackie Ross tune. A lot of people covered this record, by the way. August 1966, Jamie Records out of Philadelphia. Take Me for a Little While is the name of the tune. How about another cover tune, as this song was first recorded by Jimmy Ruffin back in 1967 on the Soul record label, but this artist was a member of the Christian Harmonizers, recorded for the Candy record label in 1961. Then he had a release in 1964 on the Enrica label with his group called the Soul Brothers, and he's from Estill, South Carolina. Or is it Eastill? I said that right. Darrell, Easthill, South Carolina. And here's one he did on the Juan record label. And this tune written by Barrett Strong and Norman Whitfield. Again, first for Jimmy Ruffin. But let's give a listen to this rendition from August 68 for Benny Gordon. Benny Gordon on Juan Records and his rendition of the tune, Gonna Give Her All the Love I've Got.
I'd like to dedicate this song to the little girl I left behind. Oh, will I ever see my sweet home again? There's a train leaving here tomorrow. Oh yeah, and I'll be a free young man once again. Yes, I will. I'm so glad I served my time. I'm gonna meet the girl I left behind, and when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love I got. I'm gonna give her all the love I got. Now there were time every day seemed like 1 year. Oh yeah, but the sweet things you wrote in your letters made the time disappear. Oh yeah, she said no more since you've been gone, 'cause in your arms where I wanna be. Now when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love I got. Ooh, now when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love I got. Baby, 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 I miss you so. Baby, 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 I need you so. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. Every night I stand by my window, stare at the moonlight. Oh yeah. Thinking about the way I used to hold her tight. Oh yes I did. I must have been out of my mind to leave that little girl I love behind. But when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love I got. Oh, now when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love I got. Oh my love, when I see her, I'm gonna give her all the love.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Benny Gordon's his name. August 1968, his rendition of the Jimmy Ruffin tune, Gonna Give Her All the Love I Got, came out on the Wand record label. And let's do a couple more here. This group formed while attending high school in Charlotte, North Carolina. They had their first release back in 1959 for the LG record label, recorded on a bunch of different labels during their career. But I'm sure many of you have this record on the second label, Atlantic Records. But it first came out on the Q City label. Q City Records, it doesn't say where it's from, but anyway, it's probably definitely local to Charlotte, North Carolina. I wish this played better, though. But it's not an easy record to find on the first label. This is December 1966. Let's give a listen to the Delicardos. Delicardos, this is on Q City. You may own it on Atlantic. This is the original. It's called She's the One I Love.
She's the one I love.
Those are the Delicardos there. The Delicardos from December 1966 on the original label, not on Atlantic Records. That's on Q City Records. Their tune called She's the One I Love. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with me, the disc jockey, Johnny G, you can send me an email. It's vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you have any requests, I'm getting my 60s stuff in order. I'm able to find some of them, not all of them, but I am methodically going through them and filing them and cleaning the 45. So I will get there, definitely get there in the next couple months, as you know what my plans are. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in this evening. And if you missed any of the show, it should be up on YouTube momentarily. I think it's almost instantaneously up on YouTube. It doesn't show up at the top. It'll show up as part of the download at the start, because the chat takes a while. I mean, sometimes it takes at least a day for the chat to come on, because I'm on for a long time. But thankful that YouTube is letting me do this. I know when I start going after over 3 hours, they start giving me these copyright notifications. Although they never penalize me, thank goodness. But anyway, you can also go to vinyltreasures.net. You can stream or download the show there. I have a link, I think, also for emails too, because some of you have contacted me on that link. But you can communicate with me on YouTube. If you are signed in and you sign on the website, I do get those emails. They automatically send me an email. I'm also on Facebook, John Galindo on Facebook. You can hook up there if you'd like to. But there's many ways to communicate with your host, Johnny G. I hope you enjoyed the All 60s show tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll be back next Monday night right here on Oldies and More Radio, beginning at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 p.m. A little bit of overtime here. We did a half hour of overtime. But I'll be back Saturday night beginning here on YouTube at 10 o'clock, 10 to 1 o'clock for my 50s and early 60s show. So if you like the 1950s group harmony stuff played chronologically, tune into that show. Get a lot of requests because my 50s collection is up to snuff, I should say. But anyway, again, thank you all tonight. We're closing the show tonight with a flip side from last week, a great two-sided record in my opinion, and this artist goes by the name of Spencer. His real name is Robert Spencer. Played the A-side last week, his first of two on Midtown Records. It was called We Got a Love That's Out of Sight. The B-side is actually a cover song, which was first recorded by Harry Janes and the Jane Men. He did it first on the Josie record label, but this is a nice cover of it. I like both versions. And this is Spencer's his name, December 1965. This is on the Midtown record label. It's called My Baby's Coming Home. Johnny G is going home. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all again for tuning in. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. And if it wasn't for Charlene, folks, this really wouldn't happen as good as it does, believe me. So thank you, Charlene. Everybody have a safe and happy week. The weather's going to get warmer in midweek, and I'm meeting George on Thursday, so that would be good. But anyway, I'll see some of you Saturday night. If not, I'll see you right here Monday night on Oldies and More Radio and also on YouTube. Just want to say, everybody, so long. Let's listen to Spencer.
My baby called me on the phone today. She told me she was on her way. My baby's coming home. My baby's coming home. Soon there's gonna be a knock on my door, and I won't be alone anymore. My baby's coming home. Alright, things will be like they used to be. My love will be holding me. I'm gonna dust off her favorite chair. I'm dust off